GM everyone, and welcome to the Era 3.1 reveal. That's a live stream. We will as well record it, so don't worry. You can always rewatch it. And Revo is revealing some great alpha about what we are building and what's coming next in the whole Era 3 vision. So I won't hold you off. And we can jump directly into it. If you have any questions in between, please always raise them. We are live streaming this on YouTube, so you can raise the questions on YouTube. There's as well a stream on X right now happening. You can post your questions there or as well on Discord. I'll always have a look everywhere. And then in the meantime, or latest at the end, we will as well go through all your questions. So please raise them as well, your ideas or something which pops up while we presenting. So always very eager to hear what you think. And I would say, let's fucking roll.
Let's go. Yeah, thanks, Agnes, for the introduction. And yeah, welcome, everyone. This is our Era 3.1 live stream, where we basically show you what we are planning out for the next set of features that are in line with the Era 3. Era 3 was like the first era that basically extends the gameplay from the very core game to a more social and meta game feature set. And with Era 3.1, we are shipping the first part of this, which is mainly focused around the meta game. And later on, we will then go more with Era 3.2 into the social side. For some who don't remember, the Era 3, they can watch it. It's also recorded. We presented it some time ago. In between, there was like the Project Voyager and mainnet launch coming, so it fell a bit short, but now we are fully launched on Ronin, and very happy to now continue building out the game to make it more fun and long-lasting for you guys. So before Era 3, there was Era 1 and Era 2. Era 1 was a lot of prototyping. The game looked completely different, or basically we had different approaches to the game. Era 2 was then kind of developing the game as it is and launching it on mainnet. And now with Era 3, it gets to a whole new level. So we were always optimizing the game for around 30 days of really fun gameplay. As you may know, like after 30 days, it becomes a bit repetitive. There's not so much content, and we want to change this now in order to have content for 90 to 180 days and a good platform to add more and more things to it. This was all being inspired by all your help and ideas that you brought up in the chats, and very appreciate the feedback we got from you as a community, positive as well, negatively. You're always trying to incorporate all the comments that we get, because there's many ideas, and we are still a very small team, so we need to prioritize and also need to say no to a lot of things, and that's actually the hard part. And we gathered now together this set of features, which will probably take us a few months to develop, but you already have seen the recent release. We are working on it. We are working very iteratively on it, so it's not like that you won't hear anything from us for the next months, but like going in there step by step and iterating like on a roughly weekly cadence. So every week you should see something new, and sometimes it can take a bit longer, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but we try to be very fast so that we can also gather your feedback and your new ideas as fast as possible, and things are still very open to change at any time. So this is just a plan. Plans are there to plan, but then reality is often a bit different, but at least like this gives us a good guideline on where we are going. And what you've seen already in the recent release that we did on Friday, it's also live on the mobile versions now, so just download the latest app from the Play and App Store, is the player base. And this comes in its rawest form. It's basically not adding a lot of new functionality, but it will kind of expand over time. So for now, it's basically just different visual representation. But as you can see here, we have many more things planned with the new player base. One of the next features that we're going to release, most likely this week or latest next week, will be that you can move around your buildings. So this way you can place them on a grid and customize your player base already. Although, of course, it's very limited since you only have like this 5 buildings that everyone has, but this will change very soon as well. So as another iteration, we will introduce cosmetic items that you can get from masterpieces or events that you can then basically also place on the player bases and flex your leaderboard positions or decorate your player base very uniquely customizable, so that everyone can see it out there. And this adds like I think way more customization options than we have right now. Right now, we only have the avatars that you also already like a lot, and always great to see the good avatars on the leaderboards. But now we can take this one step further. And the player base also acts as like the main foundation and platform for building out a whole new set of metagame features. And you can already see it bit teased here. We're talking about this soon, is like the battery feature version 2, which will be also very interesting, but there will be many, many more different buildings that you can place there and strategize as well on what you can place and want to place in order to specialize in certain production lines, in order to specialize in power generation, and so on and so forth. So the place is always limited, and you won't be able to place all the buildings at all times, but you can unlock more land by basically leveling up higher. And there might be also some further requirements, for example, that you need to demolish the trees or stones. So this might cost certain resources to do so. Dynamite might be a very good resource to destroy things. And this will then also lead already to a better token sync and a positive boost for the economy. Plus, also the levels become more relevant. And after a certain level, already quite early, there's not so many new things that you can basically unlock. And this way we can give more excitement about reaching certain levels, because you can increase your player base land, and many more things will arise from this. And part of the era 3 will also be that we are raising the max level. A lot of you already got to the maximum level of 200. We definitely want to give you more options to grind your way further up. And you can see here as an example, what we are working on right now is like the moving of the buildings in a grid. So very similar to what you maybe know from other games. And we will also introduce a lot of new buildings by reworking existing features. So we have already the exchange, which is right now only there to access the trade and the pools and the transfers. So we want to also make it in a way where it's upgradable, so you can spend resources to upgrade it, to maybe get more trade or more trade capacities. We will talk a bit about certain fees that we'll introduce for trading and withdrawals, and maybe you can also make them smaller by upgrading these buildings, and or even not, like, kind of, because space is limited, maybe you decide not to even have it on your base, so you can then also decide like what's important for you and where do you want to focus on. Same thing for the workshop and the mastery. Both are adding specialization and were very early introduced in the gameplay. And I think they're a bit outdated and lack certain functionality, and therefore we will completely rework both features. They will have a similar functions, or will have similar functions than they have now, but will be completely moved to the player base and adding more strategic options for you. So for example, one idea that we are talking about is to split the workshop in many other buildings so that you can then decide like, okay, I want to have a workshop mud building in order to specialize on mud that you can individually upgrade and destroy, and you can also build multiple of them. So then you have really like a good strategic option on which buildings you want to build in a player base and have them live. So only the ones which are on the player base will then have an effect, and this way gives you a way better way to specialize in your abilities. Top of that, we will add many more buildings here. It's just an example of what's possible, and I think this is giving us a good foundation to introduce many new features with the player base, make the buildings upgradable, unlocking new functionality, while still always kind of strategizing on the limited space you have. So you can see here, for example, Dino Hut. We have the worker feature as like another feature we could rework, which has a lot of potential, where we can have more workers, we can have NFTs as workers, and so on and so forth. Glass refinery could be one of the things that I mentioned with the workshop, that you can basically then specialize on glass specifically and have like an extra building just for this. And you can see a bit like the energy related or battery related features like the power plant, the accumulator, and maybe the energy booster, as well as the trophies you might get from certain masterpieces. So this way we are entering the next set of features, which will be a rework of the battery feature that is kind of in its infancy right now. It's not really a limitation. Sometimes it's a limitation on the events, but for the regular gameplay, usually it's not really something that is limiting you. Of course, in the early gameplay, yes, but later on it isn't. And that's why we really want to rework this, add some more limitations, but also more progression mechanics around it. So our idea is to have different types of power plants. Some are maybe solar panels, which don't need any resources in order to generate power. Some could be power plants that need certain resources in order to produce power. So this way we can add more things to the battery itself, and therefore making it more interesting, as well as you can upgrade these buildings to make them more efficient, to maybe require less of the energy or energy resources, or also the accumulator, which is like kind of storage where you can kind of accumulate over time your battery. These things could also be upgraded and could be having different types with different sizes, and you could maybe also place multiple of them in the player base depending on how many battery you want to kind of recharge in order to have them available if certain peaks are happening. And this will also make it more easier for us to then put requirements on the masterpieces for also lower end resources. So if we can get it done by the next event, we want to make sure that every resource has its battery limitations. So this way we avoid certain issues that we've seen with the last event masterpiece, and make it more fair and more strategic for players to decide on what they want to focus on. Then there is a whole new feature set around land plots. So for now, you have basically your main Earth land plot that you always have from the beginning. Then you unlock your flexible land plot, and then you have the fire and water land plots coming after. We want to extend the number of land plots that you can use, and we want to make the land plots more unique. So you can acquire more land plots over time, and these are raw land in the beginning that you need to terraform into a land that can be built upon. So with these terraformers, they will then also grant certain traits to the land plot, meaning that, for an example, there could be certain terraformers which terraform the land in a way where, for example, mud production or hydrogen production becomes way more efficient. And these land plots are basically then very valuable, and there will be some randomization in there as well, depending on also like what type of terraformer you have or get actually. And yeah, so you will have a huge variety of different types of land plots with different rarities itself. And for the first iteration, we won't make them tradable, but of course this could be a very interesting NFT that we can make tradable over time, as well as the terraformers themselves too. So this way it adds like way more interesting ways on how you can yeah, kind of expand your base and get the best land plots for your playing style. And if you're not able to get them, you might be able to also acquire them on the open market when someone sells them. On top of that, we will then introduce something what we call blueprints. This way, these land plots would need to can only be occupied when you also have a blueprint available. So it's not like fully flexible anymore what factory you can place on with what land plot, but you always need to each land plot lead a blueprint so you can build your factories upon that. And there will also be different blueprints for different material sets, and these are also having different varieties. So for example, not everyone can just produce dynamite anymore. They would need to have a blueprint that features dynamite, which might be more rare than, for example, an Earth-based blueprint. This way, we also make the resources themselves more valuable because not everyone has access to it, and the blueprints themselves, of course, as well, which could be another tradable item that we can introduce. And you will get these blueprints out of chests. So it's randomized what blueprints you get from the game, and makes it more interesting to kind of get the best blueprint for your land plots that you have. And this way it also introduces a matching system where, for example, certain blueprints are working way better on certain land plots because the land plots might have already traits that will boost, for example, dynamite. So you definitely want to deploy a dynamite blueprint on this land plot. So then you will always look out for getting the right blueprint, getting the right land plot, and you have a good setup on both ends. You can gain the maximum out of this. And this adds a more strategic way on how to occupy your land plots and get them, instead of just basically build your factories, destroying them, and so on and so forth. And how do you get all of these things? A lot of feedback we got is that the masterpieces are not giving so much in-game benefits in order to really spend resources on them. And this way we want to give out way more rewards. Almost all of the things I talked about can be given out as rewards in the masterpieces, especially like the chests, the terraformers, trophies, dino coins. We'll come to that in a second. special buildings that might also only be acquirable through a masterpiece. We already implemented extra traits that you can get from it, and also the battery side can definitely be given out as a reward. So for all of these features that I just introduced, we're giving a huge variety of new rewards in-game that we can give out through all kinds of mechanics, and especially through the masterpieces, as we still want to have the masterpiece as like a very central part of the game where you as a community work together, build together, and everyone who participates there will then basically receive certain rewards. Talking about the Dino coin, we want to not inflate the Dino coin with the core economy in the game. Therefore, in order to give out Dino coins somewhere in the game, we would need to collect them somehow. And I already teased this in the previous features that, we might want to reduce certain fees. They will be very small, based on trading and maybe withdrawals. And these won't be super high, so it's not like really affecting your gameplay so much. But of course, if this is happening a lot with a lot of players, it can accumulate, and we want to use these fees or parts of these fees at least to give back as rewards in the game. So this way we can incentivize masterpieces by having these fees through giving out the Dino coins as an example. And this was, for example, one thing that you and the community brought up and that we picked up and really want to implement. So thanks for the nice suggestion here. One more very important thing, and I think this doesn't look such as like a big thing, but the implications of it can be really huge. So as you know, we are building a game that is accessible not just for the Web3 crowd, but also for the Web2 people. And usually Web2 people that are just not aware how Web3 works yet can play our game. And they don't have usually a wallet, and they don't know how to set up one or don't want to do this actually. And we still want to give them the ability to acquire Dino coins from the market itself. So we want to create an interface where basically you can pick certain bundles of Dino coins, similar to what you would see in a regular free-to-play game. But instead of minting new tokens here and inflating the economy, these coins will be directly bought from the market and made available here. And this offers the Dino coin to all the Web2 players, which on the other hand will then lead to way more demand here. As we know, like a lot of the Web2 players are actually buying these things because they want to have fun in the game and not extract. And giving them an option here can lead to a very good boost in the economy and in the demand of Dino coin itself. Then there's a few more smaller topics that we want to improve on. It's definitely like finishing the migration of the Polygon tokens that are still on the Polygon side. We have it done from a technical implementation standpoint, but we need to figure out some more regulatory and compliance things. But I think this should be done by the end of the week, so we can do the migration next week. We will do an announcement prior to that as well. Then there's some on-chain metrics that are just not correct. For example, the daily active wallets, DAA, are not representative of what we actually have in the game. Right now, there's a Ronin Tune dashboard which shows around 1,000 daily active wallets, but we have more than 20, 30, 40K daily active wallets. And yeah, we need to report this better to the blockchain so that we can pick it up in Dune dashboards. And then there's the Dinocoin supply, which is still fixed with 1.1 billion. But because some of the Dinocoins are locked in an escrow contract, they're actually not accessible anymore. It reports way higher Dinocoin supply on chain than it actually is, and we want to fix this. The Voya ID operations wallet is something we also recently released in the first version. This makes it possible to not only send out your in-game items from that wallet to somewhere else, but also all the other currencies and cryptocurrencies that either you, some did it by accident, put into this wallet, or that you might receive through certain rewards inside the game. This way, we can basically pay out rewards instantly to your Voya ID without the need to collect any wallets and without any delays by us needing to send out these things manually. On top of that, it will also make sure that we can give out rewards to a way broader audience than it was before. For example, in the recent Rank event, we were only rewarding the top 25 since it's operationally more heavy to collect all the wallets and do the payouts. But now we can theoretically do unlimited amounts of payouts to wallets and users. So expect in the next event that there will be a broader reward structure. Then there's the wallet connection improvements. That's something we've been working with some of our partners together, especially the third website, as well as WeOwn, which is the newer version of Wallet Connect, in order to first enable connecting your wallet through the browser extension, which is the Ronin wallet at least, which is not possible right now, but will make it possible, as well as make it way more reliable, as often there are some issues, so you need to restart the game more often, and only eventually it works. So these connection improvements will have a very big impact on the reliability of the feature, and the next level increase we already discussed previously. And of course, we will have new events. We finished the Ronk event. There's a new event in the making, likely to launch in October. We will let you know in advance when it's happening and what's the partner. I think it will be very big again, with a very great partner on the side, and also looks fantastic again. So really looking forward to this next event, with also all the improvements that we ship by then. Last but not least, we want to give out more level and daily rewards. So for example, reaching certain levels will also give you more rewards in game that we discussed earlier before. We have now the chests, we have terraformers, we have energy, we have trades. All of these things we can give out now, and therefore we also want to reward higher levels with cool rewards, as well as a very mechanic that is often found in a lot of free-to-play games is daily rewards. It basically gives you always a nice comeback each day, or nice rewards each day, where you then basically should log in every day at least once to get these free rewards, and having fun with it. And last but not least, we are shipping a subreddit from now. You can access it here under Craft World Builder or with this QR code. And we want to take your feedback to the next level, and really want to discuss all your great ideas that you have, and maybe you have some ideas that weren't represented here. And the good thing is, like, we can use the voting system of the graph of this Reddit to basically make sure that we see the most important things and get to know better what are the most important things for you. And please feel free to check it out and to bring on your ideas. We can then discuss them, upvote them, and this gives us a way better overview about like what's important to you, what we can help with. We will also put our ideas in here in order to have a base for discussions with you to figure out some details on all the things that I just mentioned today, and have it as a cool community project to get all of the things present here. Before, it was always the feedback box, and we had like a Notion questionnaire where you can also input your feedback and your ideas, and we are looking at this, but it was definitely missing some kind of community collaboration where others could comment on the ideas of other people, can discuss it, go deeper, where we can respond, where we can give our comments, as well as having a good overview about what's already in there, as well as the importance for you by upvoting and downvoting certain feature sets and ideas. So this was everything around Era 3.1. As I said, it will be a lot around the meta features. I think it will really bring the game to a whole new level, making it fun for way longer and giving way more progression and strategic options. And once we are completed with this first part of Era 3, I think we'll touch on all the more world map related social features where you can build your own city with peers, introduce clans and guilds. This is something which we think will then take the game to, again, a whole nother level. But let's start here with the player base and the features here in order to make the game more fun. So now we have some time in order to discuss any questions or feedback or comments that you brought up during the time. And this will influence all our decisions. All of the things I laid out here are suggestions. We will also release a Notion page with a bit more detail after the live stream, and we want your feedback on this. Like, if you say like something that we presented here is like total bullshit, please tell it to us. We are happy to get in your thoughts and maybe do things differently, move things out, change things, add new things. So this is like kind of a product that we want to build with you. And this is a first direction of what we think is right now the best way to go forward. But all of your feedback counts, and therefore please feel free to put on any comments, ideas, feedback now in the chat, but also later on, feel free to reach out to us or go to the Reddit that I just talked about. So now I give back the word to Agnes, which will then go through the comments and feedback of the live stream.
Yeah. Let's do it. So we shared already the link to the stream a bit before. So the first question is about actually Project Voyager. For Project Voyager Season 2, do we need to burn Dino coins also or not?
Yeah, so I haven't talked too much about Project Voyager Season 2, but that could also be something that we are still launching in Era 3.1 as another thing more towards the end. So we haven't really planned out the next phase for Era 3.1, but it could be a good way to give out certain rewards through it, like maybe very special land plots that have a limited number, and you can mint them basically. And we could give out these mint allow lists and so on through Project Voyager or the blueprints that I mentioned. So there's a lot of opportunities in how to utilize the system again for some of the collections that we are planning in the future.
Very nice. Then a lot of let's fucking roars, GMs, everyone. Let's go to the next question. Something in Spanish. I cannot read it, but I read about this. Someone was asking actually if we will translate the game in Spanish, I think. Further down, but it just came to know.
Yeah. So it's very great to have so many players from all over the world. Right now, we only have the English and German language, but we want to expand this in the future as well, so that you can fully operate the game and get to know everything in your own native language, which you're more proficient on. Might be something that we ship down the line. If we do it, I think the Spanish language will be one of the top priorities, as it's like very spoken all around, or like in many countries around the world. And of course, like depending on our other player geographies, we will then also think about a lot of the Southeast Asian languages to add. For now, it's not a top priority, but definitely down the line we'll do it.
Nice. The next question is, will there be a new resource to be discovered in Era 3.1?
Yeah, so we are thinking about the whole battery system right now, and we are thinking to introduce new resources that you need to burn in order to get battery for your power plants. So this way, we might introduce a whole new crafting tree based on this, but it's still to be decided.
Perfect. The next question or comment: every craft item chart looks rock. Can this item recover? Not sure what he means, but perhaps you.
So this is also a big important part of Era 3.1 to add more things to the game of the resources. So right now, one of the main things are the upgrades of the factories, as well as the masterpieces, of course. And by first giving out more rewards to the masterpieces, there will be more demand for these tokens as there's more incentives to complete and work on the masterpieces. So this way, our idea is that more and more people will burn resources through the masterpiece because they get more out of this. Second, all of the buildings and upgrades that we introduced and want to introduce many will also require a lot of resources to be burned. This way, we can also add way more economy things to the game, and this means that there will be more demand for more resources, and therefore also charts that are going up rather than down. But also, it's not true that all things are going down. There's many resources that are also quite stable and even going up. So it will basically just getting better with all the new features that we ship with Era 3.1.
Nice. And as well to this, I think someone commented liquidity is very low.
Yeah, so there are different parts to liquidity. So there's liquidities for the resource to Dinocoin pools, and there's liquidity for the Dinocoin to USDC or RON pools. And our goal is not to pump any tokens. And on the other hand, we also want to create a player-owned economy. So on the resource to Dinocoin pools, we want to kind of give you the opportunity to provide liquidity in order to get fees in game that you can then use to get like some passive earnings. And we want to incentivize providing liquidity to the pools even more over time, that you can get out certain rewards when you put down liquidity. So this way we can increase this part of the liquidity even further. On the Dinocoin to USDC, this one is is quite low, but we were also not really planning to have really high liquidity here. So for now, we are not, adding more to it.
Nice. And someone else is asking, reset workshop soon since you'll add more resources.
Yeah, as I said, the whole workshop is planned to be reworked. There will be certain resets. We will compensate for the resets. So nothing that you spend in the workshops will be lost. But it's likely to be reworked so that you can then use the resources you get compensated with in order to build a new workshop.
Okay, nice. And then someone is asking, a player just keeps selling, any buyback came from the subscription funds, and someone else was asking as well if the team is planning any buybacks.
Yeah, for now we haven't planned any buybacks. As I said, we rather want to incentivize certain in-game activities with rewards that we generate through fees, and this is then basically still kind of positive for the whole economy. On top of that, there's I think many, like the supply that is actually circulating of some of the Dino coins is actually going down, as there's Dino coins being locked in certain accounts that are either banned or dormant and so on and so forth. So this way we expect that the active supply that is actually traded will get less and less over time either way. And this way we think we won't buy back any tokens for now, but could be an opportunity in the future to see how we can utilize certain revenue streams to improve the economy further.
Nice. I think you tackled this already. He then asked as well, is subscription funds budget purposed?
Yeah, so we are a small team, but we still need to pay salaries in order to continue to develop the game. And this needs to come from somewhere. And we are very cautious with where we spend our money. So try to keep it as low as possible, but also, we need to make some revenue in order to pay these things. We want to survive for a very long time, and therefore it's very important that we can also make some revenue through the game that we can continue to use to make the game better, to keep it operational, and to do all the great things that we are planning to do. Otherwise, we would be going out of business, as a lot of other games did in the past, and then I think that's also not beneficial for the community, of course. So the revenue we generate for the game is not like that we're making a lot of, like, we don't make any profits, we still are burning money, but we at least can reduce the burn in order to survive longer and to develop more game features in order to become profitable at some point. And once we are there, we can think about way more strategies in order to incentivize the economy.
Nice. And there were some questions, what will happen with the resources invested in the workshop? But you said it already, so I will skip this. Someone was asking about burning mechanics, and then there was the answer with masterpieces and events, if you want to add something to this.
I mean, I already talked about it. Like, we will introduce many more economy things, and this way, there will be more and more tokens or resources being burned.
Someone is proposing to remove ads in the pro account.
So far we added already a lot of things to the pro account. You get more free trades, you get capacity, you can swap resources. that you haven't unlocked yet. And of course, you can withdraw the tokens to your wallet. But yeah, we will always monitor to see like what we can include there and what not. It probably won't be that there's one subscription to cover everything, because some players don't need all of the things or just a subset of it. And we rather want to tailor the experience to the people by offering a wider variance of purchases so they can decide what they actually need and want. Otherwise, we would need to, if you would only have one purchase, it would be probably way more expensive than it is right now. Yeah, Agnes, I think we can't hear you anymore, but I saw the comment. So where to get chests? Yeah, I teased this also during the presentation, through masterpiece rewards, through level rewards, through daily logins. Maybe you can also burn certain resources or produce chests with factories. So this way they will also act as a certain sink in the economy. And yeah, therefore we'll have a lot of options to give them out.
Yeah, nice. And then someone was asking how many will win something. It might be related to the rank event we talked about and the amount of rewards.
Yeah. So we will still decide this, but this time we make sure that first more than 25 people will be rewarded, and that there was a feedback also from you as a community, that we will put the whole rewards into a file prior to the event, so that you can basically know in advance what masterpiece gives what rewards for what positions. And yeah, it will definitely be more than 25, but we haven't agreed on a number yet.
Nice. And then Valdez is then saying dynamite items are down 99%. And then he was talking later on as well about like the prices. I know you said already something before, but just in case you want to add something.
Yeah, as I said, we will introduce more sinks to the economy, which creates more demand for the items, which will then in return create or drive up the prices. On top of that, we will also start to acquire more users, and more users are joining the game. Would also lead to more demand for the resources, and therefore, yeah, it will also go up again. Yeah, with the acquiring of the users, that's also tying into how well we monetize. The better we monetize, the more we can spend on user acquisition. So far, we are gathered through ads that we place in Instagram or Google Ads or something like this, more than 10,000 users a month, which is already great, but we want to increase this even further so that we have a constant influx of new users that will then require a lot of or will drive up the demand of these resources and therefore driving up the prices ultimately.
Nice. Yeah, the next question, can you at least consider some options to buying the dino in game, like USDC, RON, and more, so the payment option is more flexible?
Yeah, exactly. So we are planning out to add way more options to buy things. So on the apps itself, we are limited to only use the in-app purchase systems, but we can also provide links to an external web shop. And on this external web shop, we can then basically offer all kinds of payment options. So be it credit cards, be it maybe even gift cards that you can acquire in stores, or also all kinds of cryptocurrencies that you own. And this way, we can make this available on all platforms. On web, we can, for example, have natively everything to pay for in RON or USDC, but also then having the web shop available where you can then log in and buy all kinds of items with all types of payment options.
Nice. Then here very specific for the Pro account, and there's a similar question if users can buy a Pro account with Dinocoin, and someone else was asking if they can buy the Pro account with Ron.
So the Pro account can already be purchased with Ron. If you use the web version of the game, it's available there, so you can do this. And with Dinocoin, we can think about it to do so, but this Dinocoin would then be basically put back into the market directly because we would need to sell it in order to turn it into a fiat currency down the line to cover our costs. We can think about this option, but for now, Dinocoin is not planned. We want to really have Dinocoin as the core economy feature and not for really actually acquiring in-game items.
And then someone else is asking, I think, about the Dino NFTs, make a marketplace in-game.
Yeah, that's also like one of the features we might also still do in Era 3.1, so that everyone can acquire very easily dinos as NFTs, therefore don't need to leave the game in order to do so, or need to create and fund an Ethereum wallet to do so. We still need to see like how we can do this from a technology perspective, but there are many tools and options out by now. So we want to make this possible.
Nice. And someone else is proposing a Pixel game as a collab partner. I think that's.
I'm not saying anything what will be the next partners, but ultimately down the line, we want to partner with every Ronin community which is out there, including Pixels.
Nice. Someone said that they didn't understand if we will translate it, but I will just translate the game in Spanish. I will just reply in the chat while I read or look for the next question. Ta-da-da. A lot about the Pro account and Dinocoin. Is it still worth to get a Pro account?
Yeah, that's up to you. I mean, you can look into all the prices and price of the Pro account itself to make a decision here, depending on also what you want to get out of the Pro account, because it offers many different things. For us, like, we are focusing way more on creating great game experiences and a good economy than focusing on the ROI of an individual player. So that's all up to you. So you can decide if you want to acquire one or not.
And someone else is asking, when season 2 of Project Voyager?
It's not planned out yet, but we have some ideas about like giving out certain rewards, even the ones we just discussed for Era 3.1. So maybe there will be already in Era 3.1 a new Project Voyager happening. As I said, there's no concrete date or plans, but could be very likely that we do that.
And then Valdes said again, so this is not like XC game. Is it a dev game like any other game in Play Store? Spend money for fun, not to earn? ?
Yeah. So we designed the game to be fun, and that's our highest priority. Because if the game is not fun, then we won't get people into the game that are willing to spend money on the game. And in order to progress, to have fun, to enjoy the game, to enjoy the community, and so on and so forth. And if this is not the case, then there's no possibility to earn anything for us, so we can pay our bills, nor for the community that might be able to sell certain resources. So our main priority is to create a fun game and to compete with all other games in the Play and App stores, because only then we can build something sustainable.
Another question: how will you protect the project from compulsive users?
Yeah, the question is like, what do you mean exactly with compulsive users, and how to what do you actually mean with this? But yeah, we will make the game open for everyone. Everyone can play it. Everyone can join the community. Everyone can voice their opinions, and so on and so forth. We have clear terms of services as well. Like there's certain things which are forbidden, and we are looking out for them. Being, of course, like very unrespectful, rude, or racist, sexist, or anything like this in the community, but also like a lot around cheating, botting, multi-accounting. It's something that we are looking out for and constantly banning accounts here. And so we will continue doing this to keep everything in check and make the game and community as fun as possible.
Perfect. What else? I'm not sure. Dinocoin can also dep from Ronan.
Also not quite sure what is meant here, but you can move Dinocoin from the game to Ronan, and right now there's no Dinocoin on any other chain, if you mean this. So it's only available on Ronan, so you can't. I'm not sure if you mean this by dep, but you can't move it out of Ronan right now.
Nice. And then Gattin is asking, I really like the upcoming updates, and I'd like to know if there's a proper timeline for when the updates will happen and which features will come first.
Yeah, there's not a concrete timeline, nor prioritization on the feature set itself. But we will ship very iteratively. So we release all of the updates step by step, as we do with the player base. So player base is one of the first ones. Battery will be one of the next ones, and then we'll need to decide on what's the priority of all the other features that I just included in the presentation. And I can't really tell a timeline since it's not really super worked out yet, but I expect it to take a few months to develop. But yeah, we are working on this full force now, and have all full capacity of the team on these things. And we will basically see step by step how Era 3.1 is getting unfolded.
Nice. And Bruno is asking about like burning resources and especially error-free. And just like I want to add, we shared an announcement, and I will share in the next announcement where we share the live stream again, so you can rewatch it as well, the previous error-free presentation. So there's so much coming still for error-free. And you can rewatch it, what everything is planned. But I read out this question. So error-free is far from ready and now focus on adding reasons to burn resources, which should be the main focus right now.
Yeah, as I said, it will take time, but we are working on it, and we are doing this iteratively. On the resource burn, I think I also answered this, like through the features that we introduced, there will be a lot of resources that you can burn, and this way, it will drive up the demand and therefore the economy.
Nice. Then someone is suggesting Voyager Season 2 to upgrade our dinos.
Yeah, that's also an idea that I've been thinking around in the past that the Dino NFTs that you have are also upgradable, and Project Voyager or even Masterpiece rewards could be a good way to give them out. It's still something that needs to be thoroughly thought through, so that's why it's not included in this presentation here, but it's definitely an option for the future.
Nice. And then Emi is asking how to fix the supply if the escrow wallet is not accessible.
There are some ways, which goes now into very technical details, and I think it's not the right platform here for discussing this. But there are theoretically some ways on how to do this, and we will dive deeper into it and let you know how we will progress with the whole supply fix.
Nice. Then I need to share this. Pedro is saying best mobile game of all time.
Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah. And then someone is asking if we could share again the QR code to the subreddit, but I would as well share it in the post where I shared a link to this the stream. So you will find it on X as well as on Discord. Yeah, then again about the workshop, but I think you really tackled this, like what will happen with the resources and points. That is already. I hear. Does our item that we got opening boxes with Ronin is gonna be tradable?
Yeah, that's also something I discussed during the presentation. As a first step, probably not, but we might include them as or turn them into NFTs that you can trade down the line. So that's still to be discussed, but it's an option.
Okay, nice. Someone is suggesting a limited supply for the Dino coin.
So far it has been limited. We haven't minted any new tokens since the inception of the Dino coin. We still want to have all possibilities here in order to make the economy successful, and there might be things in the future that we need to change, and therefore, we need the flexibility with the uncapped supply for now.
Nice. Then someone as well was asking if Error Free starts now and when, but we already said this as well. So it's online, already available on the web version and parts at least, and then it will go live step by step. So what else? Then I think about bots, like every other Web3 project that fights for, I think, bots, but perhaps I don't know bots. You're going to fight.
It's a very hard topic, and we, especially over in the first few weeks of the launch, we put way more efforts into identifying bots and fight them. In the end, it's always like a never-ending story, so you will never be able to identify all the bots, but we can make it way harder and harder for them to operate, and that's our goal, that we will also continue over time.
Nice. Then Game Crypto is asking, do you intend to do any event with your own currency like you did with Rise?
Yeah, we did this in the past as well on the testnet. So there can be a possibility that one of the future events will also feature our own resources. On top of that, also the events are always changing. We're also adding new features and improvements to events. So this way, we might also find ways to have more resourcing of the main game in the events too.
Nice. Then this one is as well saying, make rewards higher if you provide liquidity in game to encourage people to provide liquidity.
Yeah, that's something we want to do. For now, it's like a big focus to have more rewards that we can give out in game, like the chests, the terraforms, battery, all of these things. And as soon as we have them, we can then identify like where we give them out and for what we give them out. And providing liquidity could be a good option to give out more rewards.
Okay, nice. Someone is asking for a new timeline. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what you mean here. But yeah, as I said, like we don't commit to a certain timeline. We work as hard and fast as we can to ship those things. But yeah, we can't really say, hey, this is done by then.
Okay, Gatton is asking, any news regarding new NFTs such as the Air one?
Yeah, we will wait for the Air NFTs once the NFT market picks up again, because we want to be in a good position to launch a new NFT collection that is limited in supply, whereas like more the blueprints and landlords or even chests and terraformers, which don't have a capped, won't have a capped supply, might be something that we can launch earlier. But with the dinos, yeah, we will wait until there's a good opportunity.
Someone is asking, I think that's the question, if you could upgrade factories with Dino Coin.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a conversion that you need to do, and we are offering this through the upgrade panel already. Yeah, you just need to convert DinoCoin into the resource that you then need for the upgrades, and this way it's more or less buying it with DinoCoin already.
So you take this, but Akuri wrote this like 100 times, so I need to read this out now. Those are items that we got opening boxes with Ron is going to be tradable.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if you mean the boxes that we introduced now in Era 3.1 or in Project Voyager. But yeah, both have the option to become NFTs on chain that make them then tradable.
Yeah, Bruno is asking, will the Dino coins bought within the game be a set price?
No, there won't be set price. The price will be reflected with the market prices. So that's different than what, for example, Web2 games have, where they have very fixed prices. In our case, it would be fluctuating depending on the market.
And then someone is asking for the possibility of clan battle in future updates.
Yeah, there could be, not in Era 3.1, but in the future, there might be ways.
Then Bruno is saying that he feels that our updates are slow progress.
Yeah, so we launched in August, roughly two months back. We needed to get the game into a stable phase. There were still some issues here and there, which I think is normal for every game launch. And then we already shipped like the first event with the Ronke community and Kanstar and Moku. And yeah, we are working on all the new features now. We are invested a lot into non-functional features before, like the bot protection and some other things. But now, as I said, we are working on all the new features, and you will see many more things that have an effect on your gameplay from now on.
Nice. Then once in a time, I need to push in a nice feedback. It's not a question. The previous event was fun. Keep up the good work, guys. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to another event soon. Hoping to get an event during Halloween.
Yes. Yeah, because I think we should slowly wrap up. I think, of course, there's many more questions. Maybe we can pick 2 or 3 of the ones that maybe weren't asked before. But if you have further questions, feel free to contact us in Discord or X under the comments, and I'm happy to answer them after. But let's do 2 or 3 more.
Yeah, nice. Sounds good. Okay, let's do this one. Can we increase the price of the purpose so less people cash out their Dinocoin?
Yeah, theoretically, if we can, but we think right now it's on a good level, and yeah, I think it's always a balance between the cash out and the kind of potential to move your items out of the game. So yeah, right now we think it's a good balance. We don't have any plans to increase them, but theoretically, of course, that's possible.
Nice. I think, yeah, I am sure there are more questions, but I haven't, which need to go a little bit down. So as you suggested, we can as well tackle them afterwards. Or perhaps one last, I have one last, so we can do it very quickly. How you guys compare your project to other games in Ronin? Is this game potentially a 1 billion market cap?
Yeah, so we, of course, like comparing us on a lot of different fronts to other games. We are mostly looking for, as I said, the most important thing for us, which is, in my opinion, the only way to drive sustainable growth, is to create a fun game. So that's the main thing how we compare us to other games on Ronin. I think there's many other also very great games on Ronin with very high quality, with a lot of fun, and we are trying to be in contact with them, to partner with them, to kind of see what they're doing. And so I can't really say something around the market cap, as it's driven by a lot of different factors that for some of us short term are not so relevant, but long term can turn to something that is potentially, if we really make a really good fun game, I think we can make the market caps of our tokens even higher than the ones which are currently on chain.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, as well for posting all your questions. I will go after this as well through all the rest, and we'll summarize it in perhaps a little Q&A sheet, and then I will share it as well with the link to this live stream. Yes, so thank you so much for joining, and I hope you are all hyped. Please let everything sink in. If you have more ideas, questions, propositions, please go to Discord, let us know. We're always very curious, and we really want to build something together, what you guys as well really like. So don't hesitate, please let us know. And I would say thank you so much. See you next time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and make sure to check out the Reddit page and leave your feedback and comments there. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.